Dave Marcus, New York Post columnist, writes for FoxNews.com as well. Dave, what do you make of this? Oh, the irony.
I mean, it's great. I mean, what is this, night at the museum over here? It's really unbelievable. You know, given the fact that we've just spent weeks and continue to spend time talking about the sanctity of the Capitol and, oh my goodness, people came into the Capitol. They lost a film crew and a bunch of comedians. I mean, you know, what's going on? And, you know, one other point that I'll make, there's been a criticism of the January 6th committee and their hearings. I use that term loosely, and I think it's a good criticism, which is they haven't addressed the security failures that day that we know were really huge. And judging from this incident, I think they really ought to, because those security failures seem to be ongoing.
They do. Apparently, the Colbert team was there conducting interviews earlier last Thursday with Adam Schiff and Jake Auchincloss of Massachusetts and Stephanie Murphy of Florida, Democrats all. And I laugh because, again, this is supposed to be a comedy show. Like, where do you go for yucks? And it kind of, now the insult comic dog was part of the crew that triumphed, was part of the crew, well, the man, Smigel, that plays him, were part of the crew that got arrested, apparently. But it's supposed to be a comedy show, and I don't know how you squeeze any sort of comedy out of an Adam Schiff.
Wait, what do you mean, the man who plays him? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no.
He's not real, and he's not a comic.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Robert Smigel plays him.
Look, I see. Look, Adam Schiff's kind of funny in his own way. I mean, if you gave him the right vehicle, I don't know that this is it. But no, Dagan, there is no division between entertainment and you know, comedy and news or any of this on the left. It's all sort of one social construct, and so of course, I mean, look, this is where Biden goes, right? Like, Biden goes on the late shows. He wouldn't sit down with you.
Oh, yeah, he sat down with Jimmy Kimmel, and it was an embarrassment for Kimmel, and that's a really low bar, and it was an embarrassment for Joe Biden as well. But they're not comedy shows anymore, and that's why they're losing in the ratings.
I mean, I'm old enough to remember watching Johnny Carson. You know, I'm not quite old enough for Steve Allen, I think, but you know, you watch Johnny Carson, politics came up, politicians would be on, but it was never partisan. Right? Everybody made jokes. People would make fun of themselves. But the jokes were never partisan. They were always just sort of about broader society. And it's really a shame that we've lost that.
So these Late Show staffers were detained or arrested. Detained is the word that, say, Rolling Stone used, including comedian Robert Smigel among the production team. And he plays Triumph, the insult comic dog. Do you think that they get jail time? Because it's possible. Like, you could get for what they did. You look at how the people who have been treated for being part of the riot, just people who were not behind any violence whatsoever, but they've been treated. They're getting thrown in jail, and so it remains to be seen how these people from Colbert's show get treated.
Oh, I think we know exactly how they'll be treated. I think they'll be treated with kid gloves. And look, this was not a major, issue. You know what was? The two attorneys here in New York who were trying to throw Molotov cocktails at NYPD cruisers during the riots in 2020, they're also being treated with kid gloves, while hundreds of January 6th defendants are just sort of, sitting in jail, lucky if they can get a phone call. So, yeah, it's a really troubling double standard, and you can't have a country this way.
Right, and in fact, it's the same standard that these protesters, it's the same similar statute. The protesters in front of Supreme Court justices' homes should be arrested and charged on the same statute that was used against people who were protesting and on Capitol grounds. But they're not doing that. It's a federal crime to intimidate a justice or judge, and this Attorney General Merrick Garland et al., they're not doing anything about it.
No, I mean, these people should want to get arrested. I mean, the Atlantic magazine will run their letters from a Virginia prison or whatever it is. I mean, you know, it's not civil disobedience if you're on the side of the state and the state is going to let you do whatever it is that you want. So yeah, it's just madness to watch this happen day after day, and the authorities just won't do their job. But hey, I live in New York, so I'm used to that.
Dave Marcus, love you much. We'll be right back.